Hey, what do you get when you get Performance Freight Management who ships anything, anywhere around the world and bull riding? You get this episode called No Bull. And I'm going to be joined by Daryl McAvena of Performance Freight Management and former bull rider. Stay tuned.
That's right. What's up, you sucker? What's up, you sucker? What you looking at?
Hey everybody, it's Bruno on NB, episode 2. Boom, there you go, that's the hard one. Episode 2 with Daryl McAvena, brought to you by Performance Freight Management. The first one we were talking about, getting it there. And this one here we're calling No Bull. But actually there's a little bit of bull, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Daryl, you're hiding a really nice belt buckle that you just can't go out and buy. You got to earn that. But let's talk a little bit about Performance Freight Management, but also how it ties into, I guess, our title, No Bull.
Yeah, so Performance Freight Management started in 2010, and during that period, I was just kind of on a hiatus of retirement from rodeo. I rodeoed for 12 years, traveled from as far down as Wharton, Texas, all the way up to High Level, Alberta, go all the way west over to Coombs, BC. So I toured pretty much North America wide rodeoing, and it was a great business entrepreneurship tour, because in rodeo you're a one-man band. You're dealing with finance, you're dealing with health, you're dealing with your diet, you're dealing with basically your goals, how you're setting up for your next scheduled appointment, which is getting on a 2,000-pound bull. So I rode bulls, for quite a long time, and I found out throughout that whole stage of riding bulls that it's no different than what I'm doing now, is managing freight for people, creating solutions.
Except it doesn't kick back.
It doesn't kick back, and you don't get horned.
Yeah, that's right.
But it does, it does fall back onto what we do with our customers. There's no bull. We're always full of information, communication, and we're very transparent. In the trucking industry, it's hard because you got transit times. People are always late. They're not always honest about where they're going to be or how late they're going to be. So we take the no bull approach, and we kind of press in and dig in and try and confirm every step of the way on every type of shipment. And I learned that from rodeo. Like, if you've got a rodeo in Wharton, Texas at 1 o'clock on Saturday, you can't be late. So you got to be on time. So throughout that whole traveling, I always called it rodeo time, right? So if I had a performance to be at, I was on rodeo time, meaning I had to look at my distance, had to look how fast I had to go to get there, how long it was going to take me, where the stops were, the fuel stations. So it had a little relation into trucking, and of course I covered a lot of ground, so I knew a lot of the landscape across North America. So it was a good tie-in. And then obviously you have a network in rodeo. There's as you know, you've been with me to a couple things, but the events that we have, it's a big family. Everybody knows everybody. And so when you're in transportation, you really need a network, and that's what Performance Freight is very passionate about, is how we have a great network of people in every part of our industry that supports the movement of every shipment. So.
Well, you're talking about some events we attended, it was all because of you. I mean, I've been to a couple of rodeos, but with taking nothing away from the Calgary Stampede. But you go to that rodeo, it's more of a social event, and like it's still hard to do. Like, it's impossible. I don't know how you guys do it. But I was very fortunate to go to the Worlds, or the Canadians, and up in Edmonton, and I was floored. I've had the fortune of going to a Super Bowl and a couple of really big events, and I was just like, that was equal to like the Super Bowl. It was unreal what ended up happening at Rogers Place. But walk us through that if you want. I mean, we were walking through the stadium. Everybody knew you, and everybody, recognized you not just for being a bull rider or former bull rider, but with your company. You talked about the network. Talk to us about. It's an incredible event.
Yeah. So I'm fortunate to be a part of a group there. They're called the Canadian Pro Rodeo Sports Medicine Team. So I sit on the board there, and what they do is they actually support all the athletes going through preventive, maintenance basically of every human being that's there, whether they're female or male, and they're rodeoing, they're riding, or they're basically getting hurt. They have to look at them in different ways and make sure they're ready for the event. Massage, chiro, there could be, immediate injuries, chronic, acute, whatever it might be. So I sit on the board there. So, I was fortunate to go up there for the Rogers Place held it for the Canadian Finals Rodeo. And so a lot of people know me through the support of that I sit on the board and I'm trying to help them as well. Performance rate management ties in with, we have it's a Western Lifestyle foundation that we do. And what that's all about is just trying to support the youth or any individual that really loves rodeo but doesn't know anything about it and may want to get involved in it. So we support athletes or potential athletes in getting involved in that. So, when we're walking the concourse of, Rogers Place, there's a lot of those people that I've seen, since, early 1990s when I was involved in rodeo. And like I said, it's such a big family that, there'll be people you haven't seen since 1990. And you'll have a 20-minute conversation like it's still 1990. And that network is so strong and it's such a tight-knit family. And I just feel compassionate and have the passion to, to continue to give back to that rodeo community because they've given me a lot. And especially, with the injury side, that's what's passionate to me because I probably wouldn't be walking today if it wasn't for, a sports medicine group like the Canadian Pro Rodeo Sports Medicine Team.
It really is amazing. Now, I want to touch on something and has less to do with business, but you were kind of a pioneer in bull riding because you were the first one with the helmet and the face mask. I know it wasn't by choice, but
No.
tell the folks, like you're the Jacques Plante.
That's a good analogy.
Right?
It is.
And for you young guys, Jacques Plante is the first guy with a face mask in hockey that played in the NHL.
Yeah.
And now, can you imagine? Now they whistle it down if the mask goes off.
Oh, absolutely.
So tell us about that as much as you can.
Yeah, so basically...
As much as you can remember.
Yeah, as I can remember. Well, in 1995, I was riding a bull and his name was Big Bucks, and he had some big bucks. And through my biomechanics of reach into the front end to get on a bull, you have to get up to the front end. The bull was coming back with his head and threw his head back and smashed my face and put my nose back into my brain. Thankfully, I wrestled at the university for a long time and I had no nasal bone from getting cross-faced all the time. So I had no bone. Otherwise, it would have pierced my brain and I would have probably not been here today. But at that point, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but I had emergency plastic surgery. And so I went to the doctor a couple weeks after and said, okay, I got to get back on. I was ready to go. And he said, well, the only way you're going to do this is you got to wear a helmet. That's the only way. And so I said, okay. So I went to iTech, which is at the time was new into hockey. And
the visors and stuff.
Yeah, all the visors just started coming in and I asked them if they'd sponsor me. I said, hey, I'm going to wear a helmet. Might be the first guy in Canada. And so I wore the helmet and then I never actually gave it up. I just kept it on. And I went from a mask, like a full mask without the helmet headpiece, and then back to the helmet. So I always had something on face gear head-wise. And I did that right till the end of my career. And I was the only guy that actually wore it full time. And now it's mandatory for, I don't know the exact age group at this point, but they have a certain cutoff that if you're younger than a certain age group, you have to wear a helmet. And which is, I think it's great because, riding bulls.
With the Canadians, now I'm sounding like I know what I'm talking about. Right? At the Canadians, they were all wearing
Yeah,
all wearing it. I don't remember anybody not wearing it.
Edgar Durago was the only gentleman that didn't have one, but all of them did. Yeah, they all had it.
So with all the risk in bull riding, have you ever considered like pickleball?
To be honest with you, I've tried it already.
Did you?
Yeah.
But it's more frustrating.
It is frustrating. Yeah. It's like I can't take the front end like a bull. I gotta wait for that wiffle ball to come over or whatever they call it.
I can't play pickleball. I mean, physically I can't play. Not physically, but I just can't play that modified sport yet. Anyways, I'm not there yet. But
I don't know if the adrenaline's there in pickleball.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little tick, tick, tick,
no
whatever.
offense to pickleball though.
Yeah, no. But I'm never gonna bull ride.
No.
Like ever.
I don't want you to.
No, I think. Can you learn, or is it like snowboarding? At 40, you can't learn because you're gonna break your bones.
You can. I went to so Gary LeFew is the guru of bull riding training. He did. I don't know if you ever heard of the movie 8 Seconds, but he trained. He trained, can't remember the Beverly Hills 90210, Luke Perry. He trained Luke Perry on how to play that role.
He's in pickleball.
Yeah. And so yeah, I went to Gary LeFew's school in Santa Maria, California for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
And basically learned a couple really amazing things mental-wise and goal setting and stuff, but obviously you got to learn the mechanics. It's like show jumping, you know, like you see show jumping horses, you have to learn all the mechanics of breaking at the hips and getting up to the front end, and it's a lot more of the sport mechanics than you think, and of course, adrenaline-wise, you know, I've never been in a NASCAR, but I'm sure it's like beyond.
Oh
NASCAR.
my God, that's way more. At least you got a gas pedal and you have an eject button. Like when you're up close, like you were great at getting us those tickets, and it is mind blowing when you're that close, right? But thanks for sharing that. Like there is no bull here. Like this is straight up. So Daryl, how do they get in touch with you? Either with or without the helmet?
Yeah, without the helmet. Well, without the helmet, you can get me at Daryl@pfmfreight.com, our website pfmfreight.com, or you can reach my cellular mobile 587-897-7379.
In our next episode, we promise to come back.
Absolutely.
We're going to be covering, again, a couple things about performance freight management and kind of the crazy stuff that you guys do for people. But also we're going to talk about giving back. Yeah, I know that's very important, and I just want to highlight that because we totally appreciate it. So coming back?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, guys. We'll see you guys next time.